What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Stank815, and I'm back with another video. Y'all new to that channel? Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, comment, get notified when I drop these videos. Today is a reaction video to Donald Trump being hit with the RICO Act. Man, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this situation, man. Is y'all happy? Is y'all mad? Please let me know. I want to know. I want to hear from Trump supporters. I want to hear from non-Trump supporters. I want to hear from everybody. So y'all let me know your opinion on him being hit with the RICO Act with the same, I think she a district attorney or something like that, that hit Young Thug with the same like charges. So let's see. Is she wrong? Is she targeting people? What y'all think?
Of all of the people making the case for Donald Trump to be jailed pending trial, he himself is making it better than anyone. Let's cut right to the point here. When Trump was being arraigned for the election theft case in Washington, D.C., here's what the magistrate judge said to him. Quote, "It is important that you comply with each of your conditions. If you fail to comply with any of your conditions of release, a warrant may be issued for your arrest, your conditions of release may be revoked, and you may be held pending trial in this case. You may also be charged with contempt of court for having violated court-ordered conditions of release. Your most important condition of release, sir, is that you not commit a state, federal, or local crime while on release. If you were to do so, again, a warrant may be issued for your arrest, your conditions of release may be revoked, and you may be held pending trial in this case." And I hope you listen closely to the words state offense, because here's what he did within days of getting that warning. Donald Trump took to Truth Social and wrote, "I am reading reports that failed former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Jeff Duncan, will be testifying before the Fulton County grand jury. He shouldn't. I barely know him, but he was, right from the beginning of this witch hunt, a nasty disaster for those looking into the election fraud that took place in Georgia." So let's be clear. Donald Trump states in his own post that he knows Duncan will be testifying, thereby making it clear that he's aware he is a witness, and then he goes on to state that he shouldn't testify, meaning Trump is publicly pressuring a known witness not to testify against him. And that's not only a crime in the state of Georgia, but a violation of the very condition of release that he expressly agreed to in the D.C. courtroom. And I understand this might be a little confusing because we're talking about both the D.C. case and Georgia, but again, the condition of Trump's release is that he couldn't commit a crime anywhere. And what he did in Georgia after he was warned was a state crime. And by the way, you don't have to take my word for it because a spate of legal experts have already agreed.
That post about somebody he knew was about to testify before the grand jury is absolutely witness intimidation, witness tampering, influencing a witness. And if that represents a violation of Georgia state law, and I absolutely believe it does on the facts, on the evidence, that can serve as a basis to revoke him in his federal case because, as we just discussed, the judge said, while you're on release in this federal case, your most important condition is that you not violate any federal law, any state law, or any local law. So I think Donald Trump has a world of hurt about to come crashing down on him.
You can't tell a witness not to comply with a grand jury subpoena unless there's some legal ability to do that, but that's not what the former president did. So it'll be interesting to see how the judge deals with bail as we go forward.
At the end of the day, the big hammer she has, of course, but she doesn't want to deploy it early or at all if she can help it, is putting him in jail. But they know that at the end of the day, it's her courtroom, it's her witnesses to worry about, it's her process to take account of, and she will, I think she showed today, be unafraid if he pushes her to the wall of responding with the most severe sanction.
And look, in fairness, I understand that remanding a leading presidential candidate to custody is not a decision that a judge can come to lightly. And that for as much as we want to look at the judicial process in a way that's black and white, it's not. But the downside of not doing so is also clear, because Donald Trump will not now nor ever abide by the conditions of his release. He will never stop intimidating witnesses. He will never stop impugning the character of the judges. He will never stop retaliating against those who cooperate against him. He will never not try to taint the jury pool. So long as he's got breath in his body, he will ignore the conditions of his release and gag orders and protective orders because at his core, he does not believe that laws apply to him. And he will defend himself the only way he knows how: violence, threats, and intimidation. Because when all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And let's be clear, this strategy of using violence and incitement and intimidation isn't new. Far from it. He did it ahead of his arraignment in Manhattan, posting, "We'll be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back." He then did it ahead of his arraignment in Florida, writing, "See you in Miami on Tuesday," an obvious provocation to lure his supporters to the Miami courthouse. He did it after his D.C. indictment, writing, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." And by the way, that was about a case where he incited a mob to stage an insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Over and over and over again, he is broadcasting that the violence isn't a bug, it's a feature. It is his exclusive tool, and we ignore it or pretend that it's a fluke at our own peril. Meaning the only way that these incitements to violence and efforts to obstruct justice and tamper with witnesses stops is if Trump is held in pretrial detention, which importantly was already the condition of his release. It wouldn't be the judge punishing Trump, it would be Trump making the conscious decision to defy the terms of his release that he agreed to. Remember, this isn't about punishing Donald Trump here. It's about protecting the judicial process. There is a very clear rationale as to why the court can't allow him to be out in public if he refuses to abide by the terms of his release, if he refuses to not intimidate witnesses and impugn the judge and issue inflammatory statements about this case. The court has a right to a jury pool that hasn't been tainted by Donald Trump's lies, and the court also has the right to curtail a pretrial defendant's free speech rights in service of protecting the jury pool and the integrity of the trial. Judge Chutkan herself said, "Mr. Trump, like every American, has a First Amendment right to free speech, but that right is not absolute. I will take whatever measures are necessary to safeguard the integrity of those proceedings." So if it becomes clear that the integrity of this trial will be harmed by Trump's continued ability to speak freely or walk freely, then it is 100% within the court's rights to revoke his bail and remand him to custody. And it will have been Donald Trump's choice that he landed there. He knew the risks beforehand because he quite literally agreed to them. So as we await next steps by judges in D.C. and Georgia, don't forget that if it were anyone but Trump, the defendant would already be behind bars faster than you could read out the charges on the latest indictment. So if the Republican Party were truly concerned with law and order, were truly concerned with the concept of equal justice, then they would recognize the unique danger posed by this criminal defendant. A defendant who spent so many years claiming to be the law and order candidate, only to have shown nothing but disdain for it when it came time to follow the law himself. Before you go, to see more content from MSNBC, make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking the link right here on the screen. You can also follow the link to see some exclusive content only on Instagram.
Let me give my opinion on Trump's situation. I'm just going to be 100% honest with y'all. If Trump did it, he deserved to go to jail. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care about the Trump supporters get mad. If he committed them crimes that they say he did, if he violated, if he violated, he deserved to go to jail, whether y'all get mad or not. If Trump violated, he deserved to get locked up. Because guess what? If anybody else would have violated, they would have been locked up. But by him being Donald Trump, they gave him special privileges. What y'all think about this situation? Should he go to jail or should he stay out? Me, I'm not going to weigh in. I'm just going to keep my opinion to myself. But if y'all comment, I'm definitely going to weigh in on opinions, and then y'all will get my opinions on how I feel about this situation. Man, thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. Thank y'all for the love y'all show me. I really appreciate it. Man, let's make it happen.